Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good. What are you having for brekkie? Do you want to see what I'm having? Check it out, check it out, check it out. A very big BLT with extra bacon. Yeah, because I am that way. Guys, how you doing? What's going on? I wanted to talk to you guys about a woman named Gypsy Rose Blanche. Have you heard of her? I'm asking, have you heard of her? Because here's the thing. Her story is coming to an end. Gypsy has decided, as we know, that she wanted to step offline and then kind of show up as guest appearances on other people's channels. Here's the thing. The world goes on and Gypsy's news and Gypsy's case goes to the back burner. But why did it take so long? Why? I mean, there's so many cases that come and go and we forget about them and we just move on. You know, we know that unfortunately the justice system and the whole judicial system needs a revamping. It definitely needs to be looked over again and to be broken down and started over again. That's not going to happen unless there's some sort of revolution or something, which I don't want to happen, and I'm not political on this channel, so I don't even want to go there. But Gypsy, yeah, she got away with it, and it bothers us. And with the way that she behaved after she got away with it, and showing no grace, no consideration, no compassion for her victims, I should say, her victims, which would be her mother and Nick. Her mom and Nick. And she just doesn't think twice about them and moves on as if she's some sort of celebrity, which is the way she was treated when she got out of prison with all the cameras there. And why didn't she think? Of course she thought she was going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs game. Why shouldn't she? Why shouldn't she? Look at the way she was treated in prison with the Findom and the pay pig and the way she manipulated everything and the way her dad treated her. Nobody said to her, baby, what you did was wrong. Baby, let's get you some therapy. Baby, while you're in prison, I got to put some boundaries down and say, listen, you got to complete some of these courses or I can't deal with you when you get out. Her dad didn't say that. Her dad and stepmom saw money signs and didn't care about Gypsy making any kind of progress mentally or emotionally. They didn't give a shit about that at all. All they cared about was the money that was going to come with Gypsy. Go ahead, let's sign deals. Even when Gypsy didn't want to deal with people like Fancy anymore, her dad was still signing deals with Fancy. I thought this one deal just in another country and, you know, Gypsy wanted away from Fancy. And maybe she wanted away from Fancy so that all this shit didn't come about, but all this shit came about. I'm not a fan of Fancy Maselli's. The way she puts her presentations together to me is not okay. Everybody does her work according to everybody. And Fancy is just not of good character, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I have it. I've experienced it. And I don't think she's of good character. It doesn't change the fact that Gypsy is who she is. Gypsy's phenomenon, the phenomena of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, is the fact that we know that she only did 8.5 years for unaliving her mom. And the person that she manipulated and talked into, not because we want it to be that way, but because there's proof. There's proof that she manipulated him. She's out on the streets, and Nick, with his mental disability, is doing life in prison. She has no feeling about that. Nick lost his mom. His mom unalived herself after this whole ordeal. She has no remorse. Well, what the hell? She lost her mom. Nick could lose his mom. Who cares? There's a big difference in that. And then Gypsy gets out. And yeah, I mean, she meets Kim Kardashian. There's cameras in her face. The problem is the public. The public that knows the truth. the public that has watched her get out of prison and show us, holy shit, that's not what happened to your mom. What happened to your mom was that you unalived your mom. We didn't know that. We didn't know that until you got out of prison and started behaving poorly and telling people many sides to one story. You brought this on yourself. Maybe it's God's way of giving you some karma. You know, you didn't have enough sense to shut your mouth and realize, shit, I just got away with MURDER, my own mom. I should probably just shut up and leave. You could have even written a book without opening up your mouth, sold the book and made money. And you just could have been trained to answer the questions that are, I mean, I don't know why somebody didn't sit down with you and say, this is the answer to this question, this is the answer to this question. Somebody asked this question, this is what you have to say. Gypsy had a different answer for each state she was in, each interview she did, each person she spoke to. And then when you put it all together, it's one lie after another lie after another lie. And that made it 10 times worse. Because then she's lying and sticking her tongue out literally in our face. In our face. I got away with unaliving my mom. And that's what bothered us. And then listen, there are people that literally, as you know, follow Satan and pray to him. And he is their God. You know, people follow Gypsy like that. She's got minions that think that she's all that because she unalived her obese mom that couldn't even fight back. They forget the fact that Gypsy just could have left. She could have taken the money and ran. What was her mom going to do? What was her mom going to do? My daughter took all of our money and ran. Yeah, she's an adult. Yeah, the money was really sent to her, so it's kind of her money, I guess. What was she going to do? Gypsy didn't have to do what she did, but she wanted to do it because Gypsy's so dark and ugly inside. Her kinks were well aware of. I mean, listen, we all have something, right? Nothing like that. Nothing like that. Nothing. She is dirty. There is something mentally, I don't even want to talk about physically because I don't even know physically. Mentally, there is something disturbed about her. And watching her behave was entertainment for us. What else was she going to do? What kind of gall does this MURDER have? Oh, I'm sorry, this MURDER have. What does she have that is making her think that she can go to people and try to sell them a bunch of shit? And there's a very small group of people still buying that shit. And now that world is closing and people are now starting to see what's going on, Gypsy's kind of walking away. Because here's the truth. Her support group is now switching on her. Not because of us. Well, a little because of us, because we're out there shouting and screaming about the truth and trying to change the narrative. But because of Gypsy. Because of Gypsy's actions. Because of the way Gypsy handles herself. Because they start to see Gypsy's not a good person. She's not a good person at all. And people, it's got to be a horrible thing when you supposedly have a baby and half the world doesn't think it's real. I mean, what does that say about you? Seriously, what kind of credibility do you possibly have? Right? But guys, I want to read you some stuff. I want to read you. No fan of Gypsies. I do want to say something because somebody sent me this, and this I have to say is not okay. We can't behave like Gypsy, guys. We can't behave like Gypsy and expect to call ourselves better than Gypsy, because once we behave like Gypsy, it gets all muddy and murky. But I want to read you something that somebody supposedly wrote, and this is something that I honestly think is atrocious. So somebody wrote that she was an effing cow, you effing loser. I hope your kid grows up to unalive you, BITCH. You will get what's coming to you, effing grifter. Okay, that's okay. But then she gets this. I think it's from the same person, and this is not okay. Grifter, you're an abomination and a shit of a mom. Your baby a micro deletion freak too? Question mark. That's not cool, in my opinion, to say that. I guarantee you, your child will commit unaliving because of you. Why don't you pull the trigger first? You can't say this shit, guys. This doesn't make us any better than Gypsy. Because you're an effing narcissist. Okay, she is, but, we don't want her to, well, let's say, we don't want to be responsible for her unaliving or tell her to do it. You're too full of yourself, but that would be the best act of love you could do for your micro-deleted freak of a child, too. That baby's innocent. That baby doesn't need to be brought into. That's horrible. And when things like this happen, and Gypsy responds to stuff like that, and her group of minions respond to stuff like that, that's legitimate. That's legitimate. I'm no fan of gypsies. I'm no fan of that group of mindless minions. But that's not okay. That's not okay. I've said plenty of shit about Gypsy. I can't stand her for everything she's done. But you can't act like her, because then you're no better than her. You know what I'm saying? I know that you didn't unalive anybody. Hopefully you didn't unalive anybody. But still, that behavior isn't something that I support. And I know we get angry. And we are worried. If there's a baby, we are worried about the baby. But guys, where's the pictures of the baby at this point? Seriously, where's the pictures of this baby? Who is taking pictures of this baby when they take the baby out publicly? Where are those pictures? I just want to know. Where are they? Some of you have said, well, where's Jack Bieber? Where's his pictures? Well, let me tell you something. They have a whole slew of bodyguards, so I can understand why we ain't got a picture of Jack. But I don't understand why we don't have a legitimate picture of Aurora that wouldn't have been leaked by a step-grandma. Or maybe that was supposed to be it. Let's share these pictures so that we can buy into the story more. I don't know. Guys, tell me what you think. This is Issues with Toddy One Skip. Boys, there are issues. Guys, be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Take care, guys. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and share. Half of you are on the fence. The fence is tilting. Come on over. We don't bite unless you ask.